Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Non-Native Leader, a video podcast series where we talk to people about their challenging, their stories, their feelings, about having international careers. And the thing is, all these people were not born in an English-speaking country, and so that makes their stories, I think, more interesting. And so if you follow the series, you've seen we talk to people from different backgrounds, different industries. And today I have with me David Bavon from France, but not based in France at the moment. But yeah, as I said, I don't want to spoil it, and I'm sure he's going to tell us all about it. So David, first of all, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. And yeah, so if you want to tell us a bit about, well, we know your name, but what you do, where you are.
Thank you, Daniele. Thank you, everyone who is listening. I'm very, very happy to have the chance actually to share my experience. As you will notice, I'm a tiny bit French, right? Probably you can hear actually with the accent. And the whole idea, I believe, is that if you can get a bit of, I'd say, view of my journey, and I think I will take about I will talk about actually the good and the thing that actually scared me a bit at time.
Exactly.
That's something that really I'm actually very excited to share today. That's it.
Nice. Fantastic. And tell us, David, what's your job? What are you doing these days?
So today, as of today, I'm actually working in the industry called Fintech.
Ah,
Is the new finance fintech as it called it, so financial company, but it's a tech company as well. I am a director of business development
nice.
for that company. So just to give actually a bit of clarity, business development is not sales. Okay, it's actually sales is actually account executive who are taking care of the full sales cycle. I'm not there. For
Okay.
me, I'm actually I'm a director actually for a unit of business development. So it's the people who are actually finding opportunities. Okay,
Ah,
finding business opportunities, and
okay.
that's generally an entry job. What I call an entry job that actually gives you a super training actually to be better at sales and improve your English as well.
Nice.
So
And so
yeah,
basically you're like checking the market, looking for opportunities. Is that what you're
yeah.
doing
So
day in, day
so
out?
be careful, Daniele, because I love my job, and if you get me started, I will talk
Okay,
forever,
okay.
right?
Okay,
Uh, I
let's
can
not.
I can say in just a little short sentence, you're correct. It's looking at the market, trying to find actually the people that are interested by what we put on the table, and it it's actually a very good job. You can learn a lot from that type of job.
Sure.
That's what I would say.
That's fantastic. And where are you based, David?
So I'm based in Dublin. I
Um,
have the feeling, Daniele, that we know this town, right?
yeah, we do
Uh,
indeed.
yeah, and I fell in love with Dublin, with Ireland, and I'm actually that's my home. I can say that now.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Great. Okay, so wow. So there's already a lot on the plate, yeah? So traveling, because you're not in your home country, job, like an interesting and somehow challenging job. And so we can say, yeah, this is like a great example of international career and how it can develop, yeah? So let's start, from the beginning, okay? You've been traveling around. This is not your first job, obviously. So can you tell us a bit about like main challenges for you in your international career?
Uh, So if we go from the start, I always felt, and to keep it short, there was always a voice in my head that was saying, you need to explore.
Hmm.
You need to. I was living in France, and France is a wonderful country. You have a lot of good things, landscapes, good food. But a part of me wanted to travel, wanted to discover. And I arrived actually, I keep it short on purpose, but I arrived and I was looking for a job at the time. And I felt, okay, I have a choice. Maybe I can take a job and I stay in Brittany, in France, or I actually give a chance to move to another country. Okay,
Sure.
just to try for 1 year. And my idea was actually I go for 1 year and I go in a job, I discover a country, and
Sure.
I improve my English. Okay.
Okay, so it started like a bit of a challenge for you, a bit of okay, let's see if I can do it, and maybe it's gonna be fun, and then see what I can learn.
Yeah,
Is that the way it started for you?
exactly. That was my way, and I was thinking worst case scenario, I can come back to France as long as my
Yeah.
uh, parents were okay, right?
So that was at the very beginning then,
At the
wasn't
very
it?
beginning,
Wow.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, absolutely.
And how did your first year go?
It was very interesting because uh, that's good memories. That's really good memories
Can you
because
imagine?
and I'm not in any way saying bad things about schools or anything. It's really important to study English at school and everything. But here is the thing: there is always that difference between theory and the real world. Okay, and
Sure.
I thought I knew enough English to survive. And I remember specifically going to Galway at the time. And I went to the pub, and pub is really Irish. It's not something you find in France, right?
Nope.
And I spoke to the first person I remember as if it was yesterday, uh, who had a really strong Galway accent. Okay, because you have
Okay.
accents everywhere, like, right?
Absolutely.
And I couldn't understand a word.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand a word. And I was thinking about my teacher at school, and I was
Ah.
thinking, give me my money back. You know, uh,
Yeah, what have you been telling me all this time?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like that's not the English you gave me. And I remember the very first night I was a bit I don't know, concern is a strong word, but I was a bit
Mm.
worried. Okay,
Yeah.
because remember at the time I actually decided to go to Ireland trying to find a job,
Yeah.
and that experience what was telling me, but you can't speak a word of English.
Okay. And so that did that lead to like negative emotions at the time?
Uh, we can use the negative emotion. That's because out of that experience came a feeling of fear.
Okay.
Okay, I was afraid. I really was, I have no shame to say this. Like because one question leads to another question. Is like, oh, if I can't speak English, then I can't find a job. If I can't find a job, I can't get the money. And it's like, and so on. So I could see on the first night that I was coming back to France the next day. Okay,
Wow.
and
That's pretty strong. Yeah.
yeah, and I said to myself, okay, sleep on it. That's a good advice I would give actually. Is like, if you have that negative emotion, just sleep on it and
Yeah.
see how it goes in your head the next day.
Okay.
And
And did you sleep? And
the
did you sleep on it? Well, obviously you did
not
because
a lot.
you're still there. But
Well, exactly. I did sleep on it, and I decided actually to say, okay, that was one experience. Let's try to get a bit more experiences and to see really if my first impression was correct or not. And I realized that, and that's important. That's a point that I want to make. When you talk to someone, talking in a pub with all the noise and the music and the accent you're not familiar with, doesn't put you in the best condition. And the next day or the day after, I actually went to a recruitment agency. And the lady that was just to put my CV, right? And I could
yeah.
feel that the lady had an accent, but the accent was not as strong.
Okay.
So I could understand better already. And there wasn't the noise of the music
Yeah.
and everything. It was a little room and there was no noise. So I was like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
feeling better already
Exactly.
about the
So
whole.
did that give you courage?
It gave me it gave me actually reassurance
Hmm.
more than courage. Okay.
Okay.
The courage came sort of in line with that reassurance feeling. Is like, hold on a minute. I can't understand in the pub, but I can understand the lady. If I can understand the lady, then it means that I'm not that far of actually being able to do an interview. Okay. And what I did just after that was so remember, I'm back in time. We were not in the time of YouTube
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
podcasts and everything. Okay.
Don't remind me my age.
That's the thing. It's horrible to say for me, but what I did was to, I remember at the time was to buy books. So I actually went on buying books in English, which was something new for me. Huh? And you would say, but hold on, why do you think that books can actually help you understand? It's
Hmm.
because your brain needs to be familiarized with actually activating the muscle of
Yeah.
your English. So when you read a book, an easy one, huh? Okay, not Crime and Punishment, an easy one.
Yeah, start easy.
Exactly, like easy, right? When you read one, you train your brain to actually get more comfortable. Meaning that in my head, I was like, if you can read 2, 3 books, because at the time I had no job, right? Then maybe actually when you're gonna come back to that lady to talk about possible job
Mm.
offers, you will feel a tiny bit more comfortable, and then a tiny bit more, and then a tiny bit more. It's what I call a process.
Yep.
Okay, that, I'm gonna stop here, but that's the little
No,
story.
no, that's great. I love this idea of the process because um like you see the big task and it seems like impossible. Okay, this is too big for me. I
Exactly,
can't do it. So break it
exactly.
down. Break it down.
Break it down.
Uh
Exactly.
yeah, so it's like when you have to eat a giant elephant. So break it into tiny little bits and then
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
can do it. And so
Exactly.
yeah, so this is why I love it. Yeah, and yeah, you called it, David. You called it the process. That's it. It is a process, and
Yeah.
it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and dedication, and those tiny little steps that you have just mentioned. So yeah, I
Exactly. Yeah.
it's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
wow. And so going back in time, so yeah, you're there, feeling a bit more confident, and then starting handing in your CVs, and okay, now I can do it. That was already a bit of a change of your mindset, I would say.
It was. You know, it's again, it's the process. So just between brackets, but I'm a big Arsenal fan, and the coach, the current coach, is saying trust the process, and I really like those 3 words: trust the process. If you read this book, you'll get more comfortable. If you get more comfortable, you'll get this. If you get this, so if you get this conversation with the lady, there is more chance for you to get the. So you understood the idea,
Yeah, yeah.
and and what happened after that is that, so just a question, Daniele, to be sure we're
Yeah.
on the same line. Do you want me to go from the very start or?
Okay. No, I mean, I think we have already explored some
Yes,
great things. And I love this idea of the process. So trust the process. And to be honest, I think you are the living proof that the process works, because you're still
I hope.
you're still in Ireland,
Exactly.
and you have a job. I can see that you
Yes.
have a job, and you have told us about that. And you have actually managed to go from like entry level job to, building a nice career. And you have explained, like the conversation and the fact that you started,
Yeah.
reading. So now my next question to you would be like, so what was the turning point in your career? Let's start from your professional life.
So I assume, are we talking, just to make sure I understand the question, are we talking about the linguistic turning point where I say, or are we talking about the career turning
Well,
point?
I would actually be interested in both. So,
Okay.
like, because you mentioned your confidence with the English language, and so what was the turning point there? Okay, you've
Yeah.
told us about the lady and that
Yes.
conversation, but yeah,
Yes.
was there like something that made you go, okay, now I feel much more confident
Yeah.
from a
So
from a language and from a professional point of view, because
y-
I'm also interested in, how you developed your career and how you
y-
ended up doing what you're doing today.
yeah, yes. Yes. So I will fast forward actually to, you just have to consider that my first experience helped me to learn the basics, the
Yeah.
foundation of English. Okay. And it gave a good experience to actually put down on my CV. And out of that, fast forward, I went back to France at some point, and then I decided, no, Ireland is really nice. I really like Ireland. You have to put back in a context as well, right? For I don't want to go, but it was the economical boom of
Like,
Ireland
sure,
at the time, okay?
sure.
And a lot of opportunities. And my way of thinking was, hold on, you have the basics in English, you know Ireland, Ireland is booming,
Mm.
meaning that maybe there is actually a way in there to actually get, a job quicker with more responsibilities more quickly, because Ireland didn't have enough people to work. Huh? You remember that time
Yeah,
in
they were
second.
looking they were looking
They
for
were
skilled
looking.
for
Okay.
skilled professionals.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And that's what happened. And when I arrived, the turning point was quite interesting, right? Because I applied and I got offered actually a job in a huge company, huge. Okay. And in this huge company, the day one, I entered into one of the building, and it was what you call an open space. And there were three buildings in open space on three different stairs, with all the workforce. I'm talking Spain, Italy, and I was sitting down actually in the sort of central area, and I could hear actually different languages coming
Wow.
from everywhere, and I was like, wow, like really the wow effect. And
Yeah.
then what happened is that I really quickly managed with the English to make friends actually, well, with you, with a lot of people actually from different culture. And that was the wow effect, saying, wow, actually, English is one thing, but if I keep on going, I could potentially explore other languages as well.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Absolutely. That's great. Like, I think that must have felt great because, okay, I can understand English, I can speak English, but wait a minute, these people, they can speak
That's
Spanish,
it.
German,
Exactly.
Italian. So yeah, let's give me more, give me more. And that's
Exactly. And
that's the true
you see
feeling
that
of the international environment. That's the true feeling. True.
exactly. And I was associating this with my career as well,
Yeah.
because my way of thinking was, hold on, I have actually the English, I've been offered a job. If I am actually giving my best in this job, or because between brackets, if you work, you have to give your best, and that's the right, you know, that's the deal. That's the deal. And I was like, that will give me actually more competencies, more confidence, which will give me actually the possibility to really have that international profile. And I was thinking, if you stay in France, and no offense to France, no, I'm just on, I'm just talking about the way I was thinking. I was like, there is more chance to actually get in that international profile in Dublin that there was in Brittany at the time. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, and that, like that's the moment that your brain goes, like, okay, look, I'm surrounded by people speaking
That's
all
it.
these languages, and being here, being able to speak, well, French and then English and then a bit of Italian, like you did, that give you the opportunity to expand. And this is, I think, one of the key aspects of working internationally, because
Exactly.
you can talk to anybody, you can talk to people from all over the world, and that's a great feeling, I believe. That's something that yeah, you might feel limited if you don't do that, but then when you are there and you're surrounded by people doing it, you just can't stop it, I think.
That's the you can't stop it. I think that's the way. It's there. Uh, you're swimming into it, if I may say. So
Absolutely.
that's
And
the
so,
feeling I got. Yeah,
that was your wow moment, as you called it,
exactly.
which is great. And so, like, if you had to describe, so how is your life, your career, your situation, how is everything changed for you since then?
So many things. I'll pick up actually I'll pick up on certain things actually that came, because if you actually make progress actually communicating with people, and I think that it's important to understand something. When you speak a language, you are actually creating a link, channel, I will call that. Correct me if
You
maybe there
have.
is a better word. Uh, but there is another parameter and factor to take in consideration, is the culture. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I'm saying that because today in my job, it's not only about talking English or Italian or Spanish. It's about understanding the culture. Okay. When you are actually, because I feel personally extremely lucky to have the chance to manage people. Uh, if you manage people, you need to understand that we have different individuals and different nationalities and different cultures. Okay. And there is one thing that happened to me a lot. I will talk about the sense of humor. Well, first thing, you have to be really careful with sense of humor at work. Very careful. Okay. And the other thing
Yeah,
is that what you
great
find
point.
funny yourself is not necessarily funny for someone else. Or sometimes they will
Yep.
look at you like, what? And that's what I'm trying to say, is that a language is much more than just a language. A language is actually the door you're going to open to discover a new world. And if you want to make your life, again, I'm just sharing my experience, but if you want to get a rich life in terms of experiences, in terms of, the contact you're creating with people, you need that language to open the door to the culture, to the moments, to the experience. That's what I would say. And
Yeah.
that applies to work, that applies to, and here is the thing, when I am at work, we work hard, we stay focused, but sometimes we actually go out, we have a dinner together, we go to the pub, not too often, but sometimes. Okay. And uh, obviously people are a bit more relaxed and everything, and
Yeah.
it's always interesting to see the sense of humor of each participant depending on their culture and
Exactly.
their behavior and their attitude. I don't know if I'm clear enough,
No,
but
yeah. This is great. Like the fact that you really language is a tool that can help you open doors. And yeah, I mean, you've said it perfectly, I think. So understanding the culture, giving you the opportunity to interact to people from
exactly.
diverse backgrounds and diverse cultures. So that's
E-
that's
Exactly.
unique. That's unique,
And
I think.
I will sum it up for our audience today. I'm reasoning in terms of you know what the English actually brought me. At the beginning, I was afraid. You remember the Galway
Yeah, we
experience and
started from
everything,
fear. Yes.
and that fear. If I would have listened to that fear, I would have missed a fantastic life. That's the reality, and I'm not even exaggerating. Okay, so there is a message. What I'm saying today is that you have the right to to feel the fear, but there is a book called "Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway,"
Yeah, it's a great
and
book. I love
it's
it.
a big book. I love it. Please buy it, actually, if I may. I would recommend. It's not please buy it. I would recommend it. Let's say,
Okay.
right? But uh, repeat that to yourself. If you are not there yet with English or another language, but it's the logic of it.
Yeah.
Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what I
That's,
would say.
wow.
Okay.
And that's mind blowing what you just said. The book, yeah, it's just amazing. That's what you can do, by putting yourself out there,
That's it. Yeah,
live, breathe the fear, but then do things,
exactly.
and then you can have a rewarding life. You can have great experiences, meet amazing people, and I mean, I think it's worth the effort. Okay, it is challenging, but
Uh,
it is worth the effort.
challenging at times,
Yeah.
but the payback is huge, huge.
Okay. That's
You know.
great. David, I think this is gold, and I've really, really enjoyed it. And
So did I.
yeah. So do you have like one final recommendation for people who want to have like an international career? Like,
uh, I could I I could give so many. Uh, it's just stand in really one thing is that you can. I will repeat myself, but you
yeah,
can do it, and it will make your life very rich. I, I I don't think I need to tell more than that.
fantastic.
It's a fantastic journey. That's what I would say.
That's great. David, thank you very much indeed. That was
Thank
really,
you.
really inspiring.
Thank
And
you.
yes, really, it's been a pleasure. And I hope I hope you've listened to David and you got as inspired as I did. Yeah, I want to learn more languages now.
Thank you, Daniele.
Okay,
Thank you.
David, it's been a
Was a
pleasure.
pleasure.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
indeed. And thanks everybody for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye.